too deep, falling like a slug. Hi everyone, it's Amanda. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my April TBR. I usually don't do TBR videos, but I decided to do one this month because I have a really fun video I'm doing later on this month. And I also have a large TBR this month because I'm trying to attempt to read as much as I did last April, which was the start of quarantine and the start of unemployment for me, which I'm not unemployed anymore. So like things have changed, but I'm optimistic because the sun is out. Spring is here. My mood has gone from 0 to 100 and I'm feeling good. So we have lots of genres as usual. We have adult romance, dark romance, paranormal romance, fantasy romance, but I'm also a YA fantasy reader, so I have some YA fantasy, I have horror, I have literary fiction for once, but that's part of my little video that we're doing later this month. And yeah, so let's just get into it and hopefully you enjoy this little TBR. I know I don't do them often, but here we go. So the first 6 books are actually for a video. You can try to guess what it is, but I doubt you will. So the first book for that video is The Hollow Places by Kingfisher. So this is a horror, and the only thing I know about it is that it was on Books and Lala's channel. So I'm not quite sure what exactly it is about. It is a horror that takes place, I think, in alternate realities of some sort. There's monsters that feed on your fears, and I think it's gonna be really creepy and scary. And I know there's like a museum aspect where they kind of find this hole and they go through it and all of a sudden it's this big world, but I could be completely off here. Next for that video, we have Lost in the Neverwoods by Aiden Thomas. This is a Peter Pan retelling, and it's by the same author who wrote Cemetery Boys, if you know that one. But I have started this one. I'm on page 93, and I am loving it so much. It's a dark, twisty Peter Pan retelling. I think like from just the first 90 pages, I'm so caught up in this world. It's kind of creepy. It's kind of modern day, but it has such a dark undertone, and I'm just living for it. Like, it's so good. I really love it. But anyway, that's for another video, my thoughts on this. But it's just a Peter Pan retelling. We follow Wendy, who her and her brothers were in the woods one day when they all vanished, and she was gone for 6 months. Her 2 brothers disappeared, and she was the only one who came back after the 6 months, and they found her in the woods with only like leaves covering her. And so one day when she's 18, on her 18th birthday, she's driving and she bumps into Peter Pan quite literally with her car. He needs her to find her shadow. You know the story, but there's more to it because in this modern day world, there are kids going missing. It's just this whole mystery surrounding this town where kids are disappearing. Is Peter Pan involved? We don't know. So love that. Next for that video, we have The Death of Vivek OG. All I know about this one is that it's a story about loss, family, friendship, and everything that goes along with tears. And it takes place in a Nigerian town, so I'm really looking forward to this. Next for that video, I am reading Grown by Tiffany D. Jackson. Now, I was going to read this a while back. It was on a TBR, but this one I didn't get to because I got in a slump, and that's just how it goes. This one follows Enchanted, who is on her rise up to fame. She's in the music industry, but she has a producer that is taking advantage of her, manipulating her, and it's really hard to read, I hear. It is very reminiscent of current day in Hollywood, so I'm excited to read this one. And lastly for that video, I am reading Sicko by Amo Jones. So this is my first kind of dive into mafia romance, and I figured I would start with the queen herself, Amo Jones. So this one, all I know is that it's a dark, dark romance set in the mafia world, and that is literally all I know. In my romances, I don't like to know too much, especially with dark romance. I like to feel all the feels as I'm reading and just let the book take me on a ride. So that's that video. Let me know if you can guess what exactly the video is about. So that takes 6 slots out of the 12 or so that I want to get to. So let's talk about 6 more. I would like to get to Yolk by Mary H.K. Choi. This one is a contemporary YA, but I believe that it reads more like new adults. It follows 2 sisters. One of them gets cancer and it's dealing with their mental health, and there's lots of trigger warnings for this. I believe the main one is eating disorders, so that is something to be aware of, but I'm really excited for this. I've heard raving reviews. And the puppeteers. Well, hello. Well, aren't you just the cutest little thing? If you didn't know, I got a puppy, which is one of the reasons I haven't been filming lately. So I'm really excited to get to this, and I know I will this month because I'm excited. And this is so cute. I love the hands. I know it's gonna have a sisterly bond involved, which I really enjoy in stories. So I can't wait to cry with this one as well. Next, I want to get to A Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. Now this one is all over TikTok, I think. And I just want to read it, not for a TikTok video or anything. I've just been wanting to read it. I've been really into Greek mythology right now. I've always been into it, but I just feel like this is the right time. It follows Achilles and Patroclus, right? And it's kind of their love story, and it's a take on the myth itself. So I can't wait to get to this. Let me know what you thought of it. Next, I would like to get to Something in the Way by Jessica Hawkins. So this was sent to me by my friend Ray from Whiskey on My Kindle, one of my very first friends here on BookTube. She doesn't make videos quite often anymore because life kind of gets in the way sometimes, but thank you so much for sending this my way. I can't wait to dive into this story. It is a trilogy, I believe, of this really angsty romance. So this one is about a girl who is infatuated with this older guy throughout her childhood. She is probably like 12 and he's probably like, I think in high school or something. So obviously like can't be together, and I don't think there's any attraction there on his part, or else this book would be like icky. So they get really a lot older, and she still has this kind of infatuation with this guy. She's always just been in love with him, and he starts dating her sister. So there's lots of just angst there, and I don't really know how that's gonna go. I'm excited to see how their story goes. I know obviously that they start feeling things for each other, and I don't know how that's going to go about, but I'm excited to find out. I hear great things about this series, and the cover is stunning. I love the white vibe. Staying on trend with indie romance books, I really want to get to Even If It Hurts by Marni. Mann. This is a contemporary indie romance, and this author is super popular. I just ordered a few more books from her. I believe she does love triangles very well, and this one I think is one of those. It follows a woman who is married, I believe, or in a long-term relationship, and her first love comes back into her life, and so it follows kind of that, and I believe it's very emotional, and I can't wait to read it. Next, we have 2 that are romance but also fantasy, and those are Wicked by Jennifer L. Armentrout and A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. So now I'll get to that one in a second because I have to explain myself a little bit. This one, I believe, follows Faye, and you know, I'm not sure. I just saw JLA on the cover and said, you know what, I haven't read it yet. I've seen it around, time to pick it up. But this one, it looks like a mermaid story, but on the back it says it's a fae story, so I'm not even sure what's going on. But I hear this one is pretty good. I mean, I like Jennifer Armentrout's writing. I think it's very easily digestible. I think it's fun, and I just can't wait to get into another one of her new adult kind of series. This follows a 22-year-old, so it's kind of in that new adult category. I'm assuming there's lots of good steam. But I will come back to you when I read this and give you all the tea. Everyone say hi to the class. Hello. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. moving on to A Court of Thorns and Roses. Everyone's surprised that I haven't read this yet because it's kind of like in my territory of taste. Smut. My friend actually thinks that I read this because it's that much in my territory. She's like Snapchatting me like spoilers for this because she thinks I read it because that's how much she thinks that I should read this. You know, like she just assumes I read it already because it's so popular and it's like it just is. I know it's for me, but I've just been putting it off because I know the whole series is going to take me a while to finish. And that's too much commitment for me. And I just feel like I needed to wait. But now that they have the whole series out, I figured it's time to go for it. So I got the paperback versions. And these covers actually have grown on me. I actually kind of like it now. I really like how it matches my nails. ASMR. Super fun. It's in a fae world with night courts and summer courts, winter courts. All the things that I love in a story. So I can't wait to get to this. I will be vlogging for the entire series at some point, but it's gonna be a whole video, like, you know, very long sort of thing. Next, we have one of my favorite authors of all time. I'm gonna read 3 that I haven't read by her yet. I think it's the only ones that I have left to read because I want to do a video on her as an author, a guide to, if you will. Colleen Hoover, one of my faves, my all-time fave. I mean, I discovered her so long ago with Hopeless and Slammed, and I just fell in love with her writing and just feeling like all of the angst that comes along with Colleen Hoover books and tragedy and just feeling something when you can't feel anything in real life. So that's why I love Colleen Hoover. Heartbones, I put this on my TBR multiple times. I just haven't read it yet. I don't know why, but I love this cover. This one follows a next door neighbor story, I think, and their love story. One of them is rich and one of them is in poverty, I believe. So there's kind of that misunderstanding there, I believe. I don't know much because Colleen Hoover's synopsises are not the greatest. Every book of hers that I read the synopsis and then I read the book, it's like completely off. Like not completely, it has the underlying tones there, but it doesn't fully explain what actually is going on. Then we have All Your Perfects, which I know is a super sad one. This one follows a marriage that is struggling because of infertility, I believe, which is something that I'm super sensitive about. So I've been putting this one off, but I know I'm gonna love it. I just know it. So there's that one. And then Layla also. This one is one of her newer ones and it's a paranormal kind of thing. She's been dabbling into a little bit of different subgenres lately, which I've been really loving. I just read Verity a few months ago, or like a month ago. And yeah, I'm excited to read this one. I know it's a ride, so I'm excited. I think there's like ghosts involved or something paranormal is happening, but it has the angst, I know that. I forgot to mention my book club books because that is what I do every single TBR video. But let's just quickly dive into those. We have The Swallows for the Whiners. This is Rachel's pick this month. I will leave all the information in the description for the Whiners and for the Goodreads for The Swallows because I have no idea what it's about. And then we have Second First Impressions by Sally Thorne. This is the Sugar and Spice Book Club, which is my romance book club that I host with Kirsten from Kirsten's Corner. And we picked this one because The Hating Game is very popular, Sally Thorne, and we're hoping it's better than her other one, 99% Mine or something like that. I'm hoping it's on par with The Hating Game, but I just know that it follows a couple. I think they're in a retirement home situation, something with old people, something funny. It's gonna be a good time. So that completes my April TBR. Let me know which ones you would wanna see vlogs for or whatnot. I will probably do a vlog for contemporary romance, probably 3 indie contemporary romances because I have a lot coming in the mail. You'll see a haul soon for dark romance and indie contemporary romance. But stay tuned for that. Otherwise, I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching and have a good one. Bye.